Well, I made the mistake, which is a very common mistake when I wrote my article, of thinking that there was some improvisation involved, and I gather that there was not, that everything was written out beforehand.
And actually, the people that joined the film and kind of assumed that too, like the other actors,
Right.
were very surprised when they had to
We
rehearse
thought it was going to be a
for
lot of
18
fun. We're
hours
going
a
to get to
day.
go. We're going to get to go make up our lines.
exact-
And instead, Mr.
Turn on
Slave
the camera.
The
Driver.
exact
Yeah.
written dialogue, and they couldn't change a word. Like
Right.
they were really kind of like
And then everybody's hands start shaking, and it's
Sweating
like,
and-
yeah.
you know.
Just how many weeks of rehearsal was required, and they like, oh, this is like a job. This is hard. Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
And then like, why are we doing it again? Why are we? It's like, because it's not good yet.
Well,
Let's
this-
just keep. Because that's not working.
The same thing happened, with Cassavetes movies. Everyone always assumed that they were improvised, and actually he wrote them out.
He loved that myth.
He created it. At the end of Shadows, it says this film was an improvisation.
Right.
And it
then
completely
you
wasn't.
can go find
Not
scripts out there, but that was the cool thing at the time. It was that jazz idea that
Right.
it just happened, man. It's all cool.
it's all cool, yeah.
Which is fine. I like to think that way about so many things in this world, but actually behind it
If you really would think
everything's-
about it too,
Yeah.
all the Before Sunrise, Sunset, and this one. I mean, this one has one 13-minute take. If people think we actually are that good at improvising that we could improvise, improvise our characters for 13 minutes continuous take that also happen to completely set up the themes of the movie and like drop little
Yeah.
plot points.
It's
and-
like
You're not that good,
we're
huh?
very bright,
Geniuses, actually.
yeah, I don't.
Well,
Just
but
that.
When you were writing it, did you improvise? I mean, underneath that question is, what were the physical circumstances of writing it? Did you write it through the mails? Did you write it in the same room?
This one in the same room mostly.
Yeah, we're mostly in the same room, but like I think when you see actors' names on a movie as writers, you assume they're acting and doing acting workshoppy things and then writing down what might.
But
We
that's not the
don't do
case.
that at all. We approach it really as three writers.
Right.
We
So
said for
Julie writes
years-
Ethan's lines, and Ethan writes.
Absolutely.
He allows his feminine side to come out.
Yeah, and Julie's
I
masculine.
mean, it's no joke. I mean, that
It's-
is
it's
the
really
idea
true.
of the movies is to try to be as genderless as possible.
Right.
I mean, that really is a. I mean, you say, and it is kind of funny, but the truth is, Julie has a lot to say about men and her masculine side, and and Rick and I can try to channel that, and if we all do that together, the blessing of co-writing. Most movies have kind of either a masculine agenda or a female agenda.
Right.
You're either getting this David Mamet kind of idea of men and women, or you're getting this Nora Ephron kind of feminine vibe about what it's supposed to be. And either way, you're aware of the movie being masculine or feminine.
You're aware you're being manipulated in a
Yeah,
certain
and
direction.
the dream of these movies is to feel the war.
Mhm.
Is to feel that tension between that. And Julie and I can help each other understand.
Without an agenda, because we're not,
We're
we're
not
not a
actually lovers.
we're not actually lovers, so we don't have an agenda. We
I'm
just
so
like really.
disappointed. Yeah.
Sorry.
Well, it's not too late. I mean, and tonight's been going very well.
Yeah, these movies are about the building of a mood, So, the building of a mood.
Can't help being silly. Can't help being silly. He's a silly boy.
There's this one moment where the two of you are arguing, and suddenly you say to her, "You're crazy. You're just crazy." And the bottom line is, you're insane. And it's this moment where a man is saying to a woman, "You are just crazy," and she hasn't appeared crazy for one moment in the film, But that's like,
But that's people have been together for a long time. They think that because you disagree with them, you must be nuts.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody. That's what Julie was saying about it. We don't have an agenda with each other. When you're really entrenched in a life with somebody, if
yes.
her wants and needs can have negative impact on my wants and needs.
Right.
If you really want to take that job in Bolivia, what's that going to do to my life? And so all of a sudden, people who used to be best friends are now
At cross purposes, yeah.
Their roads. That's one of the goals of the movie was to.
But also the craziness is like, it's like when I said at one point you're breathing helium. I mean, you'll see like we say certain things at one point, like we're like on different planets sometimes, and sometimes it feels like the person next to you is crazy because you don't understand what they want, what they mean, what's their reasoning. Like sometimes it's very hard. Like we all have different logic to life, you know? and
You
so
say
I
you
think,
love me, why would you hurt me? And what you're doing is hurting me, so you must be nuts.
Yeah, why can't you just agree with me and shut up? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's what the film's about. I mean, it's about two people, master manipulators, both, negotiating the space of their lives that they've committed to one another. So anything that in the first two films, if you hit a dissonant note, you just, like when you're courting, when you're in that heightened white heat moment, it goes away. But once you've been with someone a long time, it's like, that kind of bothers me.